Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jai Hind, Namaskar. So, I guess I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good morning. So, there is one question that you are facing problem with current affairs, how to manage it. You have made two notebooks. Okay. See, if we talk about the role of current affairs and the role of monthly magazine, I will explain that to you. Okay, that how we have to accommodate that, how we have to accommodate this issue, where we have to use both of them in such a manner that it is going to be advantageous to us. Just 1 second. So yes, good morning everyone and welcome to the session. Now there is this one doubt among many people that how we are going to accommodate this part of the daily current affairs plus the magazine. Now suppose that first of all you have to identify what are the different topics or themes which are there in daily current affairs and how you have to use it with magazine. Let's say there are two types of this current affairs which we are covering on daily basis. One part is basically the one which is related to PT oriented. There is a PT oriented article. And then we have the editorial sessions. Then we are having the editorial sessions. So there are two things which you can see. One which we are having is PT oriented articles. Second which we are seeing is the editorial oriented thing. Now there is a confusion that how we are going to integrate them along with the magazine. So let us say, let me give you an example. Last day we have read this one thing, IMD monsoon forecast. Suppose we are reading this one topic, IMD monsoon forecast. So you have got this in the daily current affairs session also. Daily current affairs session. Now you may have added some point like say 5 or 6 points here in your notebook. You have added 5 or 6 points with respect to this in your notebook with respect to this IMD monsoon forecast. Now let's say after 1 month you have got the magazine, and maybe when you are reading the magazine you might get some more things in there. You might be getting some more points over there. Let's say plus 2 points more, 2 points extra on the same topic. So what you have to do, from the magazine you have to take those 2 points and add it there. So now you are having one such consolidated notes of your current affairs. Now the second aspect, when we are talking about editorial, let me give you one simple example. There is a topic of women reservation. And on this very topic, we have got at least 6 to 7 articles in the last 1 month. I think a minimum of 6 to 7 articles have been there in the last 1 month, which we have discussed. So I expect that you have made the notes of all those 6-7 articles at one place. Now after this, again, when you are getting the magazine, and if you get some extra points there, if you are getting some extra points over there, then just add it here. Although in this case you will find that if you are reading the editorial on daily basis, you may have a far more higher amount of content, a better content, a quality enriched content rather than magazines. But still, if you find something, maybe some commission report, maybe some articles of the Constitution, maybe some examples across the world, then in that case, you can add it to your notes. So it's not that they have to operate in a different manner. You can integrate your notes all at one point, so that at the end of the day, when you are preparing for the exam, when it is January, Feb of 2027, you can just focus on your notes, and from there, you can just focus on the notes, and from there, you can revise your topics. एक्स्ट्रा जोड़ जोड़ कर इतनी मोटी नोट्स बन जाएगी तो सो यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर यूपीएससी, यू आर नॉट प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर एनी सिंपल एग्जामिनेशन, you are preparing for UPSC, and on an average if 100 topics are there from GS paper 1, GS paper 2, GS paper 3, so that is something which you have to prepare. You are preparing for mains exam, so you can expect that yes, there will be like 100 topics or from GS paper 2, a 50 topic from GS paper 1, 100 topic from GS paper 3. So this is a basic expectation from your side that you have to do a minimum of this even in UPSC exam. So this is one thing which you will have to do. Now coming to today's article, today we are having three articles. One is related to international relations, one is related to the Indian economy, and the third one is again related to the NEET exams. Okay. So now let's see this part, the geopolitics. The first topic is with respect to the geopolitics. The first topic here is with respect to geopolitics. No, this is not possible that classes on Saturday and Sunday also, because if I take classes on Saturday, Sunday, then how I would prepare content for the rest of the week? It's not possible to take on Saturday, Sunday. Because if I have to give you quality content, I will need time for it. I will need time to prepare the things for it. Otherwise, how it will be possible? Now, coming to the next part. So here we are having the first portion. Here we are having the first portion, that is like in the past, prior to United Nations. Like this is one article which is talking about like the war in the present times. The war in the present times, it is no longer a just war. It is no longer a war which is for like benefit of anyone, or it is no longer on the basis of international laws. There is abuse of international laws in this case. So it is giving a historical context. It is giving a historical example that earlier we were having treaties of 1815, treaties of 1815, 1839, and these treaties, they were protecting the states from any attack. They were protecting states from attack. They were protecting states from attack. So this was one thing that before the World War also, there were certain treaties which were protecting the states from attack. Then we have the Hague Convention on 1907. There is another part, Hague Convention. There is a Hague Convention of 1907. There is a Hague Convention of 1907. It has also laid down formal procedures. It has laid down some formal procedures before war, that if two countries are going to war, so there should be a formal procedure for it, that you have to notify each other, you have to make them aware about this. Okay. Even the League of Nations which was created, we have seen that the League of Nations which was created after the First World War, it provided for arbitration. It provided for arbitration and cooling off period. cooling off period. Then we have seen that there was a Kellogg brand. There was a Kellogg brand pact. This was there in 1928. Now this one also, it condemned war. It condemned war as a method of resolving dispute. It has condemned war as a method of resolving disputes. So historically what we have seen that before the United Nations also, there have been several such pacts, there have been several such provisions which were trying to stop the war, which was aimed at stopping the war, which was aimed at like, we don't have to let the war occur. So there were certain rules, there were certain certain mechanism which were trying to prevent the war. Of course, this was not very much successful. ये सभी काफी ज़्यादा successful तो हुए नहीं. Okay. Now what we see that we have got the United Nations Charter. Then we see that there was creation of United Nations, UN. So UN has got this Article 51. UN has got this Article 51. So this is something which is prohibiting. It prohibits the use of force. This prohibits use of force. So this Article 51 of the UN Charter, so there is this prohibition of war. Sorry, not Article 51, Article 2. Article 2, subclause 4. It prohibits the use of force. It says that there should not be any such war. It says that there should not be any such war. Then we see that there is also this Article 51. There is also this Article 51 which says that there can be self-defense. There can be self-defense against armed attack. That if there is any such armed attack, then the countries will have the option for self-defense. Countries are going to have the option of self-defense. But this is something which is most abused provision. ये ऐसा पार्ट है जिसका सबसे अधिक अब्यूज होता है. Like what we see that there is a concept of anticipatory self-defense. From here, there is a concept called as anticipatory self-defense. Anticipatory self-defense. There is an anticipatory self-defense. What is anticipatory self-defense? That countries are attacking other nations because they are having a fear that those countries might attack us. कि सामने वाली country हम पे attack कर सकती है. From that fear itself, they are attacking the other nations. So this is something which has been widely abused by US in many cases. ये एक ऐसा पार्ट है जिसको यूएस ने बार बार अब्यूज किया है. सो यू कैन सी दिस, देयर हैज बीन मल्टीपल टाइम्स अब्यूज बाय यूएस ऑफ दिस प्रोविजन, लाइक इराक, अफगानिस्तान, देन वी सी ईरान, सीरिया, वेनेजुएला and so on. So there has been multiple such abuse of this anticipatory mechanism. Okay. So anticipatory self-defense, it has been used by US many a times. Okay. So this is one of the challenges which we are seeing. Now when we are having this one challenge, what is the response of United Nations? I think you all may be aware about this, that when we are having this one challenge, when we are seeing that there is anticipatory self-defense which is being abused by US. So in that scenario, can you tell me what is the role of United Nations here? What is the UN doing here? UN क्या करता है इस केस में? What is being done by United Nations in this case? The United Nations was there for protection of all the countries. Okay. But what is the role of United Nations in this case? If there is an abuse here, if there is an abuse of this provision, so in that scenario, what is being done by the United Nations? Yes. So we see that it remains completely silent. What we see that it remains completely silent. There is no such there is no such involvement. Okay. United Nations, it has declined as a effective peacekeeper. UN, if we talk about this, failed as peacekeeper. It has failed as peacekeeper. Okay. It has gone for selective use of international law. It has gone for selective use of international law. United Nations is using the international laws mostly against the developing nations or the nations which are like having no such power. So we see that United Nations is almost completely silent on this issue. It has failed to prevent humanitarian crisis. It has failed to prevent humanitarian crisis. It has failed to prevent humanitarian crisis. Basically, United Nations has lost its relevance. United Nations has lost its relevance with respect to international peacekeeping or international dispute resolution. So in case of dispute resolution also, in case of preventing the humanitarian crisis, in the case of preventing the war, in all these things, United Nations has failed miserably. Then we see that there is a liberal bloc. There is a liberal bloc of geopolitics. This is something which is led by European Union. This is something which is led by European Union. So a liberal bloc, they are always concerned about democracy. They have got so many reports about democracy. They have got reports about freedom of press. They have got reports about many such well-being and everything. So they are the countries who are publishing all those reports. They are the countries publishing all those reports. And when it comes to preventing humanitarian crisis, what we do? They are failing miserably here. Okay. When it comes to preventing humanitarian crisis, they are failed miserably. So on a normal day, they keep talking about human rights. On a normal day, they keep talking about human rights, that human rights are being violated in this province, in that province, in this country, that country, in Africa, Asia, everywhere. So on a general day, they are lecturing everyone. On a general day, they are lecturing everyone about human rights. But when US is attacking some country, when US is killing a number of school children, when US is killing a number of school children by bombing on the schools, then there we see that then the European Union becomes silent. Okay. So they are someone who are morally compromised. If we talk about them, they are morally compromised. This is something which we see, that they are morally compromised. In fact, what they do, okay, they are allowing the imperial intervention under the language of democracy. In fact, this is their language, the democracy, the rights and everything. This is their language in order to in order to defend the imperial actions by the US or other Western countries. So initially also you may have seen that the entire Europe was having this white man burden. Okay. It was guided by this white man's burden theory, that white people are the superior civilization, they have to guide the entire world. So initially also they were guided by this white man burden theory, and now they are guided by this pseudo democratic theory. They are saying that we are the only proponents of democracy, we can only prevent the humanitarian rights. But in fact, they are the one who are morally compromised. They are the one who are not preventing such humanitarian crisis, rather than they are the cause of the humanitarian crisis. So this is one thing which has been explained in this part, that the UN is meaningless, the European Union, the post war liberal order which was established in European Union, that is morally compromised. Yes, that's correct. So this is the first article. This is the first article with respect to the war which is going on in the current world. It is morally compromised war. It is more like might is right. In the geopolitics, the might is right is being seen as an example. So might is right is the actual thing which is true in geopolitics. The one who is mighty, they are the right ones. Okay. Now coming to the second part. So here, what we have seen, that recently there has been an appeal by the Prime Minister of India. There has been an appeal by Prime Minister of India with respect to what the citizens of the country should do. It has been said that if you are eating lesser amount of oil, then it is also patriotism. So if we look at the context of it, if we are looking at the context of it, what has been said? There has been a moral appeal. There has been a moral appeal to citizens. For what? For reducing edible oil use. There has been for reducing fuels usage, for reducing foreign travel, for reducing imported goods, for reducing purchase of gold, and so on. And all this has been said that this is going to be a patriotic activity. This is going to be a patriotic activity. If you are doing this, it means you are a patriot. If you are doing this one part, then you are a true patriot. But if you are eating extra oil, then you are not a patriot. अब से आपको कोई भी आदमी रास्ते में मिल जाए, those who are eating some pakoras, or those who are eating samosas, those who are eating any such fried vegetables or any such thing, then you can tell them you are not a patriotic person. So again, there has been a moral appeal to the people, and this is not the first time. The same moral appeal has been there during the time of demonetization, during the time of COVID, during multiple other such challenges. We have seen that it is more about a moral appeal to the people. There is more and more moral appeal to the people. But the problem is not this. Okay. we see that there is an economic weakness which we have to realize. There is an economic weakness which we have to realize, that moral appeal is not sufficient. What we see that there is a depreciation of currency. There is a depreciation of the currency which we see here. We also see that there is huge dependence on imports. Especially for energy. We also see that at the same time there is a slowdown in foreign investment. Slowdown in foreign investment. Slowdown in foreign investment. Because we will buy other countries and get more benefit from this as well. We know. Don't buy gold just for 1 year. Like, now that is why we are discussing this. First thing, that many people are saying that the appeal which has been done, even if you have to appeal to the citizens, then you should have appealed at least some months back. कुछ महीने पहले अपील करना चाहिए था. Okay. But what we see that now the appeal has been made. And the problem is not that we are importing the gold. The problem is not about this import of gold or import of oil. The problem is why we have not been able to provide a substitute for it, even if suppose that people are purchasing gold from outside, because we don't have the reserves. So why we have not been able to switch to electric vehicles when the policy for this was announced almost 10 years back? We have seen that a policy for electric vehicles was announced almost 10 years back. And despite this, we have not been able to transition towards electric vehicles. Even now, the electric vehicles are far more expensive than the normal petrol or diesel vehicles. So our petrol and diesel vehicles, they are less expensive. They are easy options. Whereas electric vehicles are generally a difficult option, and still they are more expensive also. So we have not been able to switch. We have not been able to transition. We see that there is a weak domestic demand also. Now this is not related to international politics. If we are having a weak domestic demand, that is our own problem. If we are having a weak domestic demand, that is our problem. Okay. We see that there is a slowdown in the foreign investment also. So these are some of the economic challenges which are existing. Just by doing a moral appeal, it cannot be like changed overnight through patriotism, through national sacrifice. Okay. So symbolic gestures. A symbolic gesture cannot solve the deep structural problems of the economy. Okay. So what we see that this structural problems which are there, we are not addressing this. Our manufacturing capacity is weak. Our manufacturing capacity, it is weaker. It is weaker. There has been 10 years of Make in India. There has been 10 years of Make in India program, but our manufacturing has not gone. Okay. So what we see that this is one of the challenge. Then we have not been able to emerge as a technological leader. So lack in technological innovation. Lack in technological innovation. So we see that we are not able to do it technologically also. We have not been able to develop any such technology which is globally appealing. We have not been able to develop any such technology which is like globally acceptable. So we are just importing the technology also. We are importing the technology also. What we see that where we are also lacking, there is a legal uncertainty. With respect to multiple businesses. Nowadays, what we are seeing that across the country, especially in metro cities, there is a drive which is being carried out that what will be allowed, what shops are going to be allowed, what shops are not going to be allowed, where shops are going to be allowed, where it is not going to be allowed. We are lacking in a basic infrastructure in metro cities such as Delhi. We are lacking the basic infrastructure in metro cities such as Delhi. There is a huge traffic congestion. We are not able to resolve this. And then what we are doing? We are providing a moral appeal to the people for sacrifice, for patriotism. So the root challenges, they are not being addressed. We see that we are not able to attract the global capital. The FDI in India is in negative. The FDI in India is turning negative now. That we are investing outside, but the other investors are not coming to India. So FDI, it has become very much weak. The foreign direct investment, it has become very weak. For last 2 years, the net FDI has not even been $1 billion. For the last 2 years, the net FDI in India has not even been just $1 billion. From there, you can imagine what is the situation. That the net FDI in India is not even $1 billion. So this is one thing. This is one thing that we are having our own structural problems. Okay. The energy diversification, it has been slow. The energy diversification, it has been slower. It has been slower. Infrastructure, it has been poor. So we have seen that diversification is poor. Okay. So this is something which we have to look into, that the moral appeals are not going to solve the structural problems of economy. Just by doing a moral guide, just by giving a moral guidance to the people that don't purchase gold, don't go for fuel, don't go for eating, don't go for sleeping. By giving these moral guidance to the people, we are not going to solve the structural problems of the economy. We need a credible economic reforms in the country. There is a need of credible economic reforms. There is a need of credible economic reforms. There is a need of a credible economic reforms. Okay. There is a need to promote the competitiveness, promoting competitiveness of manufacturing sector. Our manufacturing sector is not able to compete. Our manufacturing sector is not able to compete. It is not able to like export its item. So that is one of the major challenge which we see. We need to build the institutional strength. Okay. So we need to build institutional strength. what we see that we need to promote innovation. We need to promote innovation in technology, and we need to promote this innovation in technology. We are so much behind technology that if you compare with any other Asian country which is in a away from South Asia, if you compare, don't see the South Asia part, go beyond South Asia, compare the countries of ASEAN, compare Vietnam, compare Laos, Thailand, compare with Indonesia, compare with China, Japan, South Korea, compare with these countries. When you're comparing with these countries, you will find that technologically we are so much inferior. Technology, we are so much inferior. We are on such a basic level in terms of technology. So this is one of the things, we are not able to have an exam in a proper manner. We are not having exam in a proper manner. So how we are going to reform the economy? So this is one thing which is needed in India. We need to invest in MSME sector. We need to support exporters. We need to support the exporters. So this is one thing which we have to do. We have to create a strong domestic demand. Okay. So creating a strong domestic demand. Creating a strong domestic demand. What we see that the inequality in India is also a challenge. The inequality in India is also a challenge for our economy. Why? We see that the companies are getting richer day by day. The companies are getting richer day by day. Many of the people are coming in top 10 richest people of the world. Many of our industrialists are coming among the top 10, top 20, top 50 richest individuals of the world. And at the same time, we are urging people to not use petrol and edible oil. Okay. So on one side, we see that we have got one of the very richest persons of the world. On other side, we are urging the common people not to use edible oil. Yes, we are. AI should be used as security system in education department. So there are multiple things which need to be done. Instead of the moral obligations of the citizens, there is a need of a lot of institutional reforms which has to be done in the country. I hope this part is also clear. What is needed to be done and what is being done. So there was a hope. Now we are coming to the third part. There was a hope that NEET is going to resolve the crisis in medical sector in India. That NEET is going to resolve the crisis in this medical sector in India. But what we see that in the last 10 to 12 years, it has created more problems than what it is solving. Okay. It is creating more problems than what it is solving. So here we are going to examine this part, that what is the impact of paper leak on students. When we look at this is something which is reviving uncertainty, fear, frustration, exhaustion, and anxiety among the students. So whenever there is a paper leak and when there is a re-exam, people think that if the re-exam has been done, then the problem is over. Re-exam is not the solution of the problem. Re-exam is not the solution of the problem. We have got more than 80 paper leaks in the last 10 years. We have got more than 80 paper leaks in the last 10 years, and we see that there is no end to it. We see that there is no a permanent resolution for this kind of thing. So what we see that they are preparing for years, they are dragged back into the same stressful cycle due to retest and cancellation. If you have given exam once and if you have to appear for the exam again, if you have given the exam once and if you have to appear for the exam again, then we see that it is a challenging situation for the students. Our exams are not a logical exams. Our exams, which are being taken by multiple such boards like NTA or any other exams, they are not such like logical exams. They are more based on rote learning. They are based on rote learning that you have to memorize. You have to memorize. And there is a limit to this memorization. There is a limit on this memorization. Suppose that you are appearing for exam, and when you are going for that exam, you have prepared all the things, you have gone through all those parts, you have memorized it all. Okay. And then what we see that once you have given the exam, you are somewhat relieved. Now you are taking some gap, you are like giving some time to yourself. But again, what we see that there is a retest because the exam paper got leaked. So what about the time and effort of all those students who were sitting there seriously for the examination? Are you going to return back their time also? Are you going to return back their time also? So that is also one of the challenge. Now what we see that it has reproduced the same anxiety which was intended to eliminate. Okay. Now one more thing which we see, that NEET is creating a situation where there is a do or die like thing. There is one exam. There is one exam per year. So here what we see that in this situation, the NEET students who are there, even if we are not talking about the paper leak, in general also NEET exam is having many flaws. We have seen that due to NEET paper, some students have committed suicides also in various parts of the country. Some students have committed suicide also due to this NEET examination in various parts of the country. So this exam of NEET is something which we need to reform. There is a need for reforming this. What we see when we talk about the JEE mains exam, so here we see that it is more successful and leak resistant. Okay. So it is going to be a computer based exam. It is using end-to-end encryption. They are systematically tagged and generated from large software-driven pools. It is not one question or two questions. It is generated from a software-driven pool. We see that multiple question sets are created across several shifts. Students are also getting 2 attempts in order to reduce the pressure from one single exam. Then we see that it is using selected and standard centers instead of thousands of centers nationwide. In case of NEET, we see that there is thousands of centers. Many of them are not of the same category. Many of them are not suitable. So that is also one challenge. We see that even in case of JEE, if there is a breach at one center or one part, it remains contained. एग्जाम देकर घूमने जा रहे थे, हाँ, it has been plan of many people. See, you are preparing for exam for 1 year, 2 year continuously. If you are preparing for exam for 2 years continuously, you have given the exam. Now there is a time when you can relax a little bit. But then again you hear that all your entire all your entire focus, all your entire dedication, all your entire work has gone to vain because authority, the National Testing Agency, has not been able to maintain a leak-proof exam. So first of all the members of NTA should be removed from their office immediately. If they are not able to create a leak-proof exams, first of all the persons who are at the top level of NTA, they should be removed immediately. That if they are not able to ensure, what are they doing there? If they have not been able to ensure a leak-proof exam, so what are they doing? It is the life of 22 lakh students. So what have been they doing? Of course, a serious question has to be asked to the authorities. Okay. So what can be done? First, we need to shift toward computer-based examinations. Okay. We need to have end-to-end encryption, digitally generated question pools, multiple question sets, use selected and standardized exam centers. This is something which was recommended to also. This was something which was recommended to NTA by a committee headed by ISRO chief. So a few years back, the same thing was recommended also to NTA. So this is one thing. Then what we see? There is a need to reduce dependence on a single high-stake examination. The NEET examination, which is, see, it is not a job examination. It is not a job examination where you are having just one exam per year. It is an examination for admission to higher education. So you should be providing multiple options. Why having just one exam per year? You should have multiple options which can be used by the students. See, the timing of the examination. The timing of the exam is there in the month of April or May. This is around the same time when they have to go for the board examination also, and they have to prepare for the NEET also. Now there is no comparison. There is no comparison between the board exams and the NEET exams. NEET exam is extremely tough level as compared to board exams. So if you are having a especially tough exam which need a special preparation, so you should give multiple options. You should at least give multiple options. So we see that we are not having that multiple options also here. One of the major problem is we are having this one type of education system in which every session starts only from June. We are not having a multiple sessions option also. Like in some of the open schooling, system, like the IGNOU also or others, there is like a July session, a December session. So students are having at least two options. But here what we see that there is only one option, there is only one exam. So this is one of the challenging aspect here. So this is one thing. Conduct multiple attempts in a year to lower pressure and reduce incentive for malpractice. Move NEET towards a qualifying examination rather than sole determinant of admission. The way we are adding students to our medical colleges or other colleges, it is a very a pathetic way for judging the merit of a student. It is a pathetic way of judging the merit of a student. So why we are having graph-like questions? Why we are having graph-like questions? We can have other methods. So this is also one part. There can be a balanced evaluation system which can be on the basis of school performance, board examination marks, skill-based assessment, and reasoning and aptitude testing. So we should incorporate all these factors rather than having just one exam. Rather than having just one exam, we can have multiple such options in which students can perform, and on the basis of this, they can have a combined score which can help them in getting the seats in the admission. So this is one thing which we have to reform with respect to the part. Now here we have two questions. Indian economy needs a structural reform for resilience rather than moral support. Analyze. This is the first question. Second question is this: the current geopolitics is not fair and the international organization have lost their relevance. Comment. So there are two questions which you have to practice. ये दोनों क्वेश्चन है जो आपको प्रैक्टिस करने हैं. हाँ, there was one question from one of you about Hindu and Indian Express. एक क्वेश्चन है कि हाउ टू मैनेज बोथ इंडियन एक्सप्रेस प्लस द हिंदू प्लस PIB. नाउ टेल मी वन थिंग, हु टोल्ड यू दैट यू हैव टू रीड ऑल दीज थिंग्स? किसने आपको ये बोला है कि आपको ये सारे न्यूज़पेपर और PIB पढ़ने हैं? Who have told you? Tell me honestly this one part. Like, who have told you that you have to read Indian Express also, you have to read the Hindu also, you have to read PIB also? ये आखिर आपका सोर्स है क्या? ये तीनों न्यूज़पेपर, ये तीनों चीजें पढ़ने के लिए आपको किसने बोला है? Who have told you to go through all this? Just do one thing. See the previous year question of 2025. एक प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन उठाओ 2025 का. Go through the current affairs of it. Go through the current affairs of it. Of prelims examination. I am not even saying mains exam. Prelims exam का current affairs उठाकर देखो. Just go through the current affairs of prelims 2025, 2024, 2023. 2013 से लेके 2025 तक के कोई भी टॉपिक को उठाकर देखो. And see this one thing. See this one thing. If there are 20 questions from current affairs, if there are 20 questions from current affairs, around 16 questions are there. Out of those 20 questions, लगभग 16 क्वेश्चन ऐसे होंगे जो इतने कॉमन होंगे कि इफ यू हैव सिंपली वॉच्ड अ न्यूज, जबकि न्यूज में कुछ होता नहीं है. इफ यू हैव वॉच्ड इवन टीवी न्यूज, अगर आपने सिर्फ टीवी न्यूज देखा है जिसमें 0% न्यूज होता है एंड 100% एंटरटेनमेंट होता है, तो इवन इफ यू हैव वॉच्ड अ टीवी न्यूज, देन ऑल्सो यू वुड हैव हर्ड अबाउट 16 क्वेश्चन. तब भी आपको वो 16 क्वेश्चन जो है वो जाने पहचाने लगेंगे कि यू हैव सीन दोज क्वेश्चंस, यू हैव सीन दोज टॉपिक्स इन रेगुलर मैनर. And remaining 4 questions, they can come from anywhere. So I always suggest that focus on these 16 questions, not the remaining 4. क्योंकि उस 4 के चक्कर में आप ये 16 को भी गवा देते हो. So just read one newspaper, one magazine. That is more than sufficient for UPSC examination. If you are giving more time on newspaper, then you are wasting your time. You are not giving the time on the static portion. So this is one thing. Don't go for what the toppers suggest or what anybody has suggested. Go for one newspaper. Check any year's previous year question. किसी भी साल के previous year question को निकाल कर देखो. You will find this that 16 questions out of 20, 16 questions out of 20 will be from the common topics. ये common topics से आते हैं. When we talk about the mains examination, the entire question, all the questions will be something which is known to you. Not just 1 or 10%, 20%, 70%, 80%. In the mains examination, if you are having 20 questions, all those 20 questions will be covered in all the newspapers. सारे न्यूज़पेपर्स में वो 20 क्वेश्चंस पर डिबेट हुआ ही होगा. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता कि उस पर डिबेट नहीं हुआ हो. चेक एनी ईयर्स न्यूज़पेपर, किसी भी साल के न्यूज़पेपर को उठाकर देखो. यू विल फाइंड दैट दिस इज कॉमन. एंड इफ देयर इज वन एक्सेप्शन, अगर मान लो कोई एक एक्सेप्शन निकल गया, तो दैट वन एक्सेप्शन यू हैव टू ऑलवेज स्किप. तो डोंट गो फॉर रीडिंग 3 न्यूज़पेपर्स. PIB वैसे भी कोई काम का नहीं है आपके. PIB is of no use to you. Those who suggest PIB, perhaps they have not read PIB. जिन्होंने पीआईबी नहीं पढ़ा है वही पीआईबी सजेस्ट करते हैं. पीआईबी इज नॉट हैविंग एनी सच any such important information which can help you in understanding the topic. It is just a government bulletin. ये बस एक गवर्नमेंट का बुलेटिन होता है जो वैसे भी न्यूज़पेपर्स में कवर होता है. So don't go for PIB. So that will be all for today. अब आप लोगों से मैं मिलूंगा आफ्टर 21, आफ्टर दिस 21 में. तो 21 मई के बाद मैं आपको मिलूंगा. So I am going on for leave for some days. So next time I will be meeting you. Next time I will be meeting you after 21st of May for those 7 days. Like we are having a 7 days break. So in that time, try to consolidate the previous topics. जो पुराने टॉपिक है उनको एक बार कंसोलिडेट कीजिए. Try to make a list of all the topics which we have covered so far. जो भी टॉपिक्स हम लोगों ने अभी तक पढ़ा है उसका एक कंसोलिडेटेड लिस्ट बनाइए. What all things we have covered. If you are having a list, then you will have a sense of confidence. तब आपका एक सेंस ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस जो है वो बढ़ेगा. So thank you so much everyone. Take care. All the best and let's meet you after 21st. Thank you. Take care.